How about the keys to the game to this one, brought to you by your Hyundai dealer, Kenny?
Well, we mentioned the fact that this is kind of a bounce-back start for Tanaka. He struggled against the Detroit Tigers, gave up a couple of home runs. And one thing about the Yankees, they got to stay on target. Right here at Target Field, they are 17-5 since 2010. That's when this place opened, and the Yankees have been very, very good in this ballpark. So stay on target, and they want to stay off Dean's list. This is one of those cases where, you know, Pat Dean, the starter for the Twins, he has one major league win on his resume. He's a rookie, and he beat the Seattle Mariners last month. You want to stay off Dean's list.
That would be a good idea, as the Minnesota Twins have taken the field. And we finally will have baseball here in Minneapolis. So why don't we take a look at the New York Yankees starting lineup, which is presented by Land Rover Above and Beyond. The center fielder is Jacoby Ellsbury. He'll lead off, batting second and playing first base, Rob Refsnyder. The number 3 hitter is the right fielder, Carlos Beltran. DHing A-Rod, he will clean up. Batting fifth and playing second base, Starlin Castro. Third base man is Chase Headley, batting sixth. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, last night's hero, Didi Gregorius. Austin Romine will get the start behind the plate. He's going to bat eighth, and batting ninth and playing left field, Aaron Hicks. Brett Gardner just a night off.
27-year-old left-hander Pat Dean on the mound for the Minnesota Twins in Game 2 of this 4-game series. He's worked both as a starter, now to the bullpen. His record 1-2. You can see his ERA 4.17, and 40 hits in 36 2/3 innings. Let's get to our pitcher scouting report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Oh, he's from Connecticut, all-state performer or pitcher at Naugatuck High School, and then he flew like an eagle. He went up to Boston College and pitched for the Boston College Eagles. And Spec Shea, there is a Yankee connection here, Michael. You got to stay with me on this one.
Okay.
All right. Naugatuck, Connecticut is a little south of Waterbury. Spec Shea pitched for the Yankees back in 1947. He won 2 games in the World Series as the Yankees beat the Brooklyn Dodgers 4 games to 3. Spec Shea was born in Naugatuck, Connecticut. So there is a connection between Dean and the Yankees.
Pretty impressive.
Well, it's a little bit of a stretch, but it's there.
Do you do a cotton swab on the inside of his cheek, too? Wow. So Dean is ready.
By the way, Spec Shea, that was his nickname, Spec, because he had freckles. His real name was Francis Joseph.
Now, I always thought his nickname was Spec Shea because he wore glasses.
You know, I thought the same thing, but it was because he had freckles.
Jacoby Ellsbury is ready. Pat Dean is ready, and let's do it here at Target Field. First pitch is up and in, and we are underway. Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire. Quinn Walcott at first, Paul Emmel at second, and Pat Hoberg is over at third. 1-1.
Ellsbury had a hit here last night. He's got a decent road trip going, 4 for 14.
And now he has a 5-game hitting streak as he leads off the game with a single. Why don't we take a look at the Twins defense, which is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Grossman, Buxton, and Kepler left and right in the outfield. In the infield, you've got Plouffe, Escobar, Dozier, and Maurer. Maurer had the day off yesterday against CeCe, who he has struggled against. Suzuki behind the plate, Dean on the mound. Suzuki does not have a great arm behind the plate. And the grand plan for the Twins was to have Suzuki start the season behind the plate. John Ryan Murphy would back him up, and the transition would be made around the All-Star game. But John Ryan Murphy got off to such a rough start that they sent him to the minors, where he's hit 300 the last month. So the transition will be a little slower, but Suzuki has a hard time throwing out runners. He doesn't have a great arm anymore. Refsnyder wraps one into left center field. It's a base hit, and he'll go into the gap and up against the wall. They're going to wave home Ellsbury, and he will score easily without a throw. It's an RBI double for Refsnyder, and the Yankees are on the board 1-0.
Well, Refsnyder hit the ball well in Colorado. He was 3 for 6. Now he's 4 for 7 on it. This is ripped into the gap in left center field. And this ball, the outfielders didn't have a chance. They were in retrieve mode right from the beginning. You can see Ellsbury picking up speed, rounding third. He's headed for home, And just like that, 2 batters, the Yankees have the lead.
So Ellsbury with a run. And here is Carlos Beltran. One and 0. Two and 0 to Beltran.
Now I got one more nugget about Naugatuck, and I'm sure you'll appreciate this one. Now back in the day in 1947, Mel Allen, the Yankees Hall of Fame broadcaster, was doing the games for the Yankees. He was the Michael Kay of that day.
Yeah.
So anyway, he gave Spec Shea the nickname the Naugatuck Nugget, and that kind of stuck.
Like the voice of the Yankees stuck for Mel.
Exactly.
And the 2-1. Grounded foul. 2 and 2.
I'll tell you what, the Yankees are getting some good swings early here. Ellsbury hit the ball hard. Refsnyder hit it harder.
Three and 2, and Suzuki wants to have a talk with Dean. Dean's 27 years old, a third-round draft pick in 2009, as Kenny mentioned, out of Boston College. Picked up his first big league win on May 28th. He'd been in the minors for 7 years, and that big league win came against Seattle.
Yeah.
And he matched up against Felix Hernandez. Beat him 7-2.
Ken Felix went on the DL, didn't he? An ankle sprain or something? Wasn't arm related.
Still some dark clouds over the ballpark.
This is a beautiful ballpark, and they only had so much room to build the ballpark. It's kind of right in the middle of, just off of downtown, and they did a great job.
They might have made it a little too big. I'm sure Joe Mauer would think that.
You mean the dimensions?
The dimensions.
Oh, okay.
But it is a gorgeous park. That one is driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya! A 2-run home run for Beltran. And just like that, the Yankees are up 3-0.
Well, as he said, Ellsbury hit the ball hard. Refsnyder hit it harder. Beltran hit it hardest. It is out of the ballpark. Wow.
Home run number 17. RBIs number 45 and 46.
No doubter. Beltran now with 17 homers. 11 of those 17 have come at Yankee Stadium. That would have been a home run anywhere. So the Yankees are a triple away from hitting for the cycle here in the first inning.
Chopped slowly to third. Barehanded by Plouffe. And he makes the play.
You see Plouffe make the bare hand play. That made it more difficult. I think he had more time than he thought to throw out Alex Rodriguez. He could have used the glove. Alex does not go down the line as fast as he used to. But Plouffe made a good play nonetheless. Ball hopped up nicely for him. He throws out Alex Rodriguez. There's Alex going down the line. And Plouffe had more. He could use the glove to make sure that he came up with it and still thrown Alex out.
Now, Alex had an infield hit in the 7th inning yesterday, a slow roller to third. And we commented at the time how well he ran, and he said today that's the best that he's run since coming back off the DL. He felt great running down there, and he said, can't say I'm fast now. He said, but that's about as hard and as quick as I've run since I've come back. So he felt good about that.
You know, watching Dean here, his fastball hasn't gotten much over 90, so you can see that he's going to have to hit his spots, move the ball from corner to corner. He's tried that with the Castro, but he's fallen behind on the count.
Three and one on Castro. Castro 3 for 11 so far on this road trip. Yankees have 2 more games in Minneapolis, and they return home. And then they'll play 2 against the Colorado Rockies and 3 against the Twins. But they have 2 off days next week, Monday and Thursday.
After playing 40 games in 41 days, then you get 2 off days in 1 week.
And Castro walks. So Dean really struggling out of the gate.
When you get hit that hard early in the ball game, all of a sudden you get a little timid. You know you can't get the ball towards the middle of the plate. These hitters seem to be locked in.
Pitch outside to Headley. Two and 0. Castro leads off first, held there by Maurer. Missed outside, 3 and 0. After getting hit as hard as he did by the first 3 batters, a little shy of the plate right now. There's a strike.
All right, if you're Headley right here, and you can see he's looking for a sign just to see if Castro's going. I don't think he will be, but this should be right on a tee for you to hit. If Dean makes a good pitch, the sinking fastball moving away, just take it for a strike. You don't want to wrap a ground ball to short.
Fly ball right field. Going back is Kepler. He's going to have to play it off the wall, and he played it poorly. Did not expect it to go off the wall, so a double for Headley. Moving to third is Castro. And the Yankees have runners on second and third. 1 out, and the pitching coach, Eric Rasmussen, quickly out to the mound.
Well, he got something up and out over the plate, and Headley, smart hitting, goes the other way. You're right. He got too close to the wall. The ball bounds away. If there was a bad play on this for the Yankees, it was Castro not realizing that he was going to make the catch, and he can only get as far as third. You know, ball roll gets this far away from an outfielder, you should be able to score. But nonetheless, the Yankees have runners at second and third and 1 out, and Headley now has a 6-game hitting streak, and he's 6 for 13 on this road trip, so he's been hitting the ball well. See Castro kind of hesitate. It's kind of a should I stay or should I go situation, but he's on his way to third.
Well, these fans have not even had an opportunity to settle into their seats. And it's 3-0, and the Yankees looking for more. Here's Didi Gregorius. Ground ball, diving stop by Maurer. He flips to Dean, but it's an infield single. Castro scores. An RBI single, another hit against the lefty for Gregorius. Moving to third is Headley, and the Yankees up 4-0.
You can see Dean, a left-hander, falling off towards third base. He got a little bit of a late jump. Good stop by Joe Maurer at first, but really had nowhere to go here. Didi's going to beat him to the bag by a good half step. He's also going to pick himself up a run batted in and move a runner over to third. Hustling Didi Gregorius. Yankees have another run.
Here's Austin Romine, the Yankee catcher and the 8th hitter in the order. Popped up, right field line. Will it be fair?
Ooh.
Foul ball, just foul. Quinn Walcott was right there, said foul.
And let's see, that's Brian Dozier. Let's see what he says about it. Now he thinks it's foul too. And it didn't miss by much. Let's see how much. Oh my goodness. That's less than a foot. Good call by the umpire though. And Dozier said, yeah, foul ball.
Tied him up inside, but a ball, 1-1.
In limited play, Austin Romine hit the ball pretty well. A couple home runs, 11 runs batted in.
Shattered back, ground ball to Plouffe. There's one on to first. It's a double play, and Dean finally gets out of the inning. But the Yankees score 4 runs on 5 hits. They lead 1. The bats come alive, starting with Rob Refsnyder's double, the home run by Beltran. When it's all said and done, it's the Yankees 4, Twins coming back. Tanaka's turn on the mound. He'll face this Twins starting lineup. Brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Eduardo Nunez, the DH, will lead off. Batting second, the first baseman, Joe Mauer. Left fielder Robbie Grossman hits third. Cleaning up, the second baseman, Brian Dozier. Trevor Plouffe at third base will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, Eduardo Escobar. Max Kepler in right field bats seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Kurt Suzuki. And Byron Buxton in center field is going to bat ninth.
Masahiro Tanaka will get the start tonight for the Yankees. And we'll take a look at his numbers on the season. For the most part, they're pretty good. This will be his 14th start, 3-2. He's had a lot of no decisions this year. ERA just over 3. 63 strikeouts in 84 innings. Let's check out our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. As we have pointed out, he is best with extra rest, and he's on extra rest tonight. Twin victories. He's faced the Twins twice in his career, and he's beaten them both times. And at 1.36 road ERA, that is second best in the American League.
Pitch inside to Nunez.
So he's done some good pitching on the road. And the only pitcher with a better ERA on the road than Tanaka, Colby Lewis of the Texas Rangers, who took a perfect game into the ninth against, not into the ninth, I think into the eighth inning against Oakland yesterday.
And a no-hitter into the ninth.
Yeah.
Lewis gave a great interview on the field. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw part of it, yeah.
I can't say exactly what he said, but he was asked, well, how do you feel? He goes, it stinks. Real honest. Didn't sugarcoat it. Nunez pops it up. Refsnyder will put it away in foul territory, 1 away. Let's look at the Yankees defense, brought to you by M&T Bank, understanding what's important. So we'll start with Refsnyder since he made the first out. Castro's at second, Gregorius at short, Headley is at third. In the outfield, left to right, Hicks, Ellsbury, and Beltran. Austin Romine behind the plate. Masahiro Tanaka is on the mound. Well, how about that? You got triplets in the land of twins, and they're Yankee fans, not Twins fans. There's a strike to Mauer, has a 6-game hitting streak. Longest streak in the majors, 27 straight games, reaching safely. He had a 28-game streak earlier in the year. Not the player that he once was. This is a bigger ballpark, so he doesn't have the power that he used to, but he still hits for average.
Yeah. Well, he's a 3-time batting champion. The Metrodome a little more friendly as far as particularly hitting to the opposite field. And that's what was Joe Mauer. He wait. Hit line drives and long shots to left field at the Metrodome.
And he goes down on strikes. Romine gets an angle, and the put out is made. 2-3, 2 away.
And it looked like that was the splitter, and it looked like a pretty good one from Tanaka. Back in the day, Mauer was one of the better catchers in the league. He hasn't caught for a few years. He started to have some knee problems, and the Twins had such a big investment in him, they decided to get him out from behind home plate and put him at first base.
Pitch to Grossman is a strike.
It's got to be a good feeling for a starting pitcher, Michael, and you're in a road game, and when you hit the mound, it's 4-0.
Well, it shows you that there's not as much of an emphasis when evaluating pitchers on wins and losses anymore, because he's pitched better than 3 and 2.
Yes, he has.
He just has not had a lot of run support. Ground ball and through for a base hit. So Grossman picks up a 2-out single here in the first.
Well, since Grossman has joined the Twins, and we told you last night that was make that May the 20th. He's probably been the Twins' best player. He and Nunez, and of course Joe Mauer, you can stick him in there, but Grossman's made an impression.
You see the way he's playing.
Yeah.
Plays pretty good outfield.
Yeah.
And he was released by the Indians.
He's a switch hitter too.
Yeah. It's not as if the league doesn't know him.
Yeah.
You know, they knew him in Houston, so
well,
maybe the Twins struck gold.
Well, the Indians are doing pretty well.
Here's Brian Dozier. One and 0. Two and 0 to Dozier.
Mentioned the fact that Tanaka's had a lot of no decisions this year. He's had 8 of them. Well, the Yankees are playing Dozier the pull ball, and it's primarily what he's been doing the last couple of years. He's got some power, but his batting average is down.
There's a strike. You always wonder how a delay affects starting pitchers. Because they plan their whole day to throw a first pitch at In Dean's case, it was like 7:05. And all of a sudden, he starts the game 45 minutes after that.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tanaka. So you have to readjust. Not giving anybody any excuses, but they are creatures of habit. Grounded and grabbed there by Headley. Gets to his feet and fires. He took an extra base hit away from Dozier. Nice play by Chase Headley. No runs a hit, no errors. One man left. We played one. It's 4-0 Yanks. At this play by Chase Headley, Kenny.
Well, Dozier hits it on the nose, and you're right. He was thinking about an extra base hit, but Headley had something else on his mind. First of all, the stop. Comes up with it on the hot smash, but then there's two parts to every play for an infielder. The grab and then the throw, and the throw was right on the money as well. So an excellent play by Headley.
Here's Aaron Hicks. He takes a strike. Well, it's finally started to rain, Kenny. Just a little bit. Hopefully there will not be a stoppage in play.
If it continues to rain like this, I don't think they'll stop it.
Well, they stopped it without rain. Count 0-2 on Hicks, drafted by the Twins, traded to the Yankees in exchange for the catcher John Ryan Murphy.
Twice Hicks was the opening day center fielder for the Minnesota Twins, 2013 and 14.
Hicks came to baseball late, really didn't have a baseball mindset. And last year with the Twins, they had Torrey Hunter on this team to essentially be his caddy. That one dunks in for a base hit, and I don't say that in a pejorative way.
No.
They wanted Torrey Hunter to teach him how to be a big league player, how to prepare for games, how to act. And that was one of the main jobs Torrey had.
Of course, Torrey retired at the end of last year, along in illustrious career for Torrey Hunter, multiple Gold Glove winner. I think he won 9 in a row. But then they brought Torrey Hunter to spring training to help Miguel Sano become a right fielder. That didn't work out quite as well. Sano currently on the DL. One thing I like to see from Hicks a little bit more of. Last year he stole 13 bases for the Twins, only got caught 3 times. He does not have a steal for the Yankees this year. Now, I'm not saying he's going against a lefty, but you like to see him pick up the pace as far as stolen bases are concerned. He's got the speed.
A little quicker move to first. Diving back is Hicks.
Maybe the Twins remember he could run pretty well.
Four runs on 6 hits for the Yankees. Time is called. Dean really paying a lot of attention to a guy without a stolen base.
You're saying he should have gone over the stats?
Well, I guess the Twins are thinking what you said, Kenny. He did have him last year. Right now, Dean's focus should be on the batter. He hasn't done so well lately.
Yeah, what happens, and we've seen this happen before, you start to divide your attention, and you don't make as good of pitches to the hitter. And now he's behind 3 balls and a strike. Here's where the Yankees could send Hicks. They got to rely on the Ellsbury to make some contact.
There's a strike. 3-2.
Now we'll see. You know, Dean actually had a pretty good start. His last outing was against the Red Sox. He got a no decision, and he allowed only 3 hits in 6 innings.
Dozier to short, back to first, double play. So a 4-6-3 double play.
Well, maybe one way to stay out of that double play would be to have sent the runner. The Yankees didn't. And they're able to turn it over. The Twins are. As Escobar is going to deliver the throw to first just in time to get Ellsbury. Got him by about half a step.
Here's Rob Refsnyder, an RBI double his first time up. 6 hits in his last 13 at bats. Average at 275 now. One and one.
Now, if the Yankees are going to use Ike Davis against the right-handers and Refsnyder against the lefties, Refsnyder has hit lefties pretty well since he's been in the big leagues, and I guess throughout his minor league career. So you might see that average begin to climb the more opportunities he gets against lefties. And once again, he's ahead on the count. Should get something pretty good to hit.
Three and one. And he walked him. So a 2-out walk issued to Refsnyder, and that'll bring up Beltran. Beltran hit a long home run, a 2-run shot into the second deck in left field. His 17th home run of the year. Now Beltran yesterday was 0 for 3, and he had not played in 3 days in 2 games. He said he just felt out of sync, having not been on the field. He's more in sync today. Up and away, 1-0.
He's been in sync for most of the year.
And Michael, I actually spoke to Carlos after the game, and he told me that he was favoring that left knee a little bit. If you remember, he had missed those 2 games in Colorado, had that knee drained, then had a cortisone shot. And he said sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to feel normal again out there on the field. He couldn't say how long it would take, but he looked pretty normal in that first at bat.
That was a good normal.
Well, Belcher, that was his, what, 17th home run of the year?
Yep.
He didn't hit his 17th home run last year until September 22nd against the Toronto Blue Jays at Toronto. So he is way ahead of last year's pace.
Well, he's 39 years old and putting on a show for someone who wants to play more after this year's last year of his contract with the Yankees, but he certainly wants to continue to play. Last year he got off to such a slow start. Remember, he had the surgery on the elbow and just wasn't right. But from May on, probably the Yankees' most consistent hitter. Two and two.
He tried to hit that one the other way.
Great catch by a fan in the upper deck. And a Yankee fan at that. Two.
Dean has thrown a couple of sinkers away. Carlos has fouled them off. Let's see if Dean goes out there one more time or tries to sneak one in on Carlos Beltran.
Grounded to short. Escobar. And that'll do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning at Target Field. Yankees lead this one 4-0 over the Twins. The 2016 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot is here. Head to Yankees.com to choose your hashtag ASG-worthy stars and send them to the MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard on July 12th in San Diego. You can watch that game on Fox. Vote today, vote tomorrow. Vote at Yankees.com/vote. 4-0 Yankees as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Trevor Plouffe leads off, and Tanaka deals him a strike.
Yankees have a trip to San Diego this year.
There's a strike.
I wonder what the weather will be like.
Best job in the world, Kenny, as a weatherman in San Diego.
You got that right. Good news just about every day. Plouffe had a big year last year. 22 homers, 86 runs batted in. Does not have those type of numbers this year. He's 5-20 at this point of the season. So he's got some heating up to do. He wants to get back on pace of last year.
And he punches a single to right field. So leadoff single for Plouffe. Let's go around the majors, and it's brought to you by Infinity. Visit your local Infinity retailer for a test drive today. Big injuries. Jose Bautista placed on the 15-day DL with a strained big toe, and J.D. Martinez placed on the 15-day DL with a fractured right elbow running into the wall yesterday, and they say he should be out about 6 weeks.
Wow. Although Bautista's injury not bothering the Blue Jays tonight, they lead 13-2 in the 7th inning over Baltimore. Don't look now. The Blue Jays are making their move.
Seattle is leading Boston 8-4, bottom of the 7th inning.
This is primarily why the Yankees got to win. They got to win these games here. You know, when Baltimore's playing Toronto, one of them's going to lose. You're going to gain on somebody if you win.
And the Giants are leading Tampa Bay 4-0, top of the 7th. So you win this game, you can gain on 3
teams ahead of
well, percentage points. Tampa Bay's kind of behind the Yankees.
Yeah.
But you can put some separation now.
Uh-huh.
One. High fly ball, deep right center. That ball is off the wall. Plouffe is rounding third. He'll stop right there. It's a double for Escobar, and the Twins have runners on second and third. Nobody out.
Now, when this ball was hit, I thought it had a chance, but hit high off the wall in front of the seats in deepest right center field. Looked like a hanging breaker ball, and Escobar is not really known for his power. Got into it just over the scoreboard. Ellsbury gets it in quickly. Over the scoreboard, under the railing. And Ellsbury did a pretty good job of playing the carom and getting it back in.
Yankees have the infield back, except at third. Max Kepler at the plate. Fouled away.
We were talking about Kepler last night. An interesting story from Germany. Learned to play baseball over there. From an athletic family and in an unusual way. But his
mom and dad ballet dancers.
Ballet dancers, yeah. It's got to be athletic to do that.
Mom is actually from San Antonio and moved to Germany. Grounded to second. That'll get a run in and move the other runner to third. So the Twins are on the board, and the Yankees lead 4-1. Well, if you're not going to get a hit in that situation, Kenny, that's the best thing.
Yeah, he did. He moved the runner around for somebody else to try and drive in. Kepler picks up his 7th run batted in since coming to the big leagues. He had already had a walk-off home run, his only big league homer.
Here's Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki had a full ride scholarship to the University of Hawaii, but he walked on at Cal State Fullerton because he wanted to play against the best competition. Ended up winning the World Series at Cal State in 2004 and got himself drafted in the 2nd round by the A's.
We did mention last night he got the Johnny Bench Award, which is the award given to the best catcher. in collegiate baseball.
Well, that tells you something about him. He bet on himself.
Born on Maui, and he has actually played the 3rd most games of a major league player born in Hawaii. The first Mike Lum. Remember Mike Lum?
Yeah, sure.
With the
Atlanta Braves.
Yeah. And Shane Victorino are ahead of Suzuki on that list.
Escobar's at third. Yankees have the infield back. They'll give up another run. One, two. Grounded foul. I'd be a different type of manager, Kenny. I understand exactly what Joe's doing. I would never give up a run if it's just a runner at third. Second and third, I understand you have to play the infield back. You don't want to give up 2, but in this situation, I would bring the infield in.
You bring the infield in, and squeaks one through the infield, then you got another runner on base.
It's just a runner at first, though, so I don't like giving up runs.
Yeah, but then you're bringing a tying run to the plate.
True. Well, all for naught as he goes down on strikes.
See, you want your pitcher to strike him out. It makes you look good.
Well, tonight's high-speed pitch comes from Tri-State Cadillac. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer for attractive lease and finance offers. That was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball by Masahiro Tanaka.
Yeah, everything had been downstairs, and he gave him his fastball upstairs, and Suzuki couldn't get on top of it.
There's Byron Buxton. Oh and 1.
We were talking about Buxton's glowing ability last night, and second overall pick in the draft a few years back. And you can see the tools are there. I mean, he can run, he can play defense, has a very strong throwing arm, but the hitting is not there yet. And to me, when I watch him swing the bat, he's got to try and shorten up the swing somehow. See, that's a long swing. Just stay back a little longer and quick stroke it. Trust your hands. Be quick enough to hit the ball hard. Tanaka has him out in front, and you can see that's a long swing.
Fly ball right side. And Refsnyder runs it down for the final out of the second. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Let's go to the third. 4-1 Yanks. by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. And by Raymore and Flanagan Furniture, furnishing your style. And by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And by Land Rover, above and beyond. Here's A-Rod to lead off the third against Dean. 1-0. Tonight's Power Report is furnished by Bob's. Everything's better with a Bob-O-Pedic. Find out why at mybobs.com. Give you that after the pitch. And the pitch is a strike. Most home runs against the Twins. It's Jim Thome with 61, then Frank Thomas 52, Reggie Jackson 51, and A-Rod and Konerko tied at 50.
There's some big time names on that list. Oh my goodness. We mentioned that last night A-Rod reached 3,100 hits.
Yes,
yeah,
I think
okay. So. That's a nice round number. A couple of singles in last night's game. Run score.
Dean deals. Grounded foul. And the 3-2. Grounded right side and through for a base hit. He went against the shift and picked up a single.
101, 3,101. I was just looking up at the flags and the wind is really whipping towards left field. And I was thinking A-Rod get into one to left, but instead he slaps one through the middle into center field for a base hit.
If you watch A-Rod run, there's a ground ball through for a base hit. So Castro picks up a single. It looks like he can go in a straight line fine, but it's hard for him to change directions if he's running full speed. And if you watch that single that he hit, it's in the outfield, but he thinks he's going to have to beat it out. So he doesn't even round the bag and almost goes into the umpire. So he has to keep it straight, because if he's got to make left-hand turns, this is a guy who's had surgeries on both hips.
Yeah. And plus, it looks to me like he picks his spots when to go hard. Yeah. So right now he's at second. And rounding third, you're saying this might be an issue if there's a base hit.
I think if he knows he has to round, it's fine. But I think it's hard for him to change direction.
Yeah, I got you.
Like when he thinks he's going to have to beat a throw to first base, all of a sudden he doesn't make a quick left-hand turn and go for two. Two and 0. We're in the third inning. Yankees have 8 hits already against Dean.
Yeah, Headley's got one of them. He had a double off the wall in right field, and it was 3-1 pitch, and Dean tried to get him to roll over, and Headley would have none of it. He went the other way nicely.
After just an awful start where Headley was pulling his hair out, he's at 255 now.
Yeah, he's getting up there. I mean, it's been a long climb. Six-game hitting streak.
A strike. Grounded foul. And that'll load the bases as Headley walks. So bases loaded and nobody out.
Looks like the Twins bullpen is getting up again. They're stirring around out there. Yep, there's.
And that's one step away from a rotary phone that Molitor's dealing with right there. I mean, this is a brand new stadium. In other stadiums, you pick up the phone, it goes right out to the bullpen, but you've got to dial a full number. I think you have to start with 1-612.
Well, maybe the fact is that they want to be able to dial out of the stadium.
What, to get dominoes?
No, well,
well, there's all the numbers there.
there's dominoes on there.
I think it's Papa John's.
Yeah, Papa John's.
So here is Didi. Infield RBI single last time up. Asked Joe today, did you ever envision Didi hitting this well against lefties? He said, honestly, you can't envision that he would do this well. He said, but you always knew that he had a lot of talent. He also said he doesn't have a plan to pinch hit for Didi against the lefty reliever that comes in.
Why would he? He's the best left-handed hitter against lefties in baseball at this point.
Well, the wind is really whipping up, and it's cooling down just a little bit here at Target Field. See Didi with a 368 average against lefties. Adam Eaton next at 358. Bases loaded, nobody out. The wind whipping the flag straight out toward left field. And it's blowing in from right. Tap to second. There's one. Not in time. That'll get a RBI for Didi as A-Rod crosses. And the Yankees lead 5-1.
Ball not hit very hard, and Didi able to beat the relay from Escobar. And in doing so, picks up his second run batted in of the night and gives himself 30 on the year. And it gives Romine a chance with a runner at third and one out.
That's a little tough to navigate those ponchos. Paul Molitor's going to give them time to settle down as he's going to go to the bullpen. Get the poncho situation straightened out. Pat Dean's night is over. He really struggled, giving up 8 hits, 5 runs. The runners on first and third are obviously his responsibility. A rough night for Pat Dean as Paul Molitor makes the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Yankees lead this one 5-1, looking for more. bar, $50 on a blowout. It's happening all over again. All that work undone.
Yeah.
They're sitting in the upper deck in left field. Might be time to move. New pitcher, right-hander Neil Ramirez. And he's going to face Austin Romine with runners on the corners and 1 out. See what marriage has done to me, Kenny?
Tell me.
5 years ago, I had no idea what a blowout was. I didn't know what dry bar was. Didn't know how much it cost. Now it's all too much of my life.
What do you think? What do you think? A blowout was a 20-point win in basketball?
Yes.
Well, you found out those things aren't cheap, huh?
Mm-hmm. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. No throw. A stolen base for Didi.
That's number 3 on the season, and effectively takes away a ground ball double play, and is going to force the Twins to bring the infield in, or halfway. Didi off and running. No throw by Suzuki.
Line drive into left center field. It is a base hit. It slows down in the gap. Cut off on the warning track, but still it's a 2-run double for Romine, and the Yankees now lead 7-1.
That's the second time the Yankees have filled that gap tonight. Refsnyder in the first inning, and now Romine here in the third. And that pitch is right there, and he rips it. That's what I mean by quick stroke. Not a long swing. Quick strokes it into the gap. 2-run score easily. Castro waving Gregorius home, and the Yankees increase their lead. And Romine continues to hit the ball pretty well in his opportunities.
Now has 13 ribbies and limited playing time. Here's Aaron Hicks. Turns around to the left side against the righty. And there's a strike. Blocked by Suzuki. Little housekeeping there by Hicks.
We're going to get some hot dog wrappers blowing around.
And one thing they say when you play a team like the Twins that comes into this game at 20-46, if you get to them early, there's a good chance they say that's not happening again.
Here we go again.
If you let them believe they can win, which the Yankees did yesterday, it's a tougher fight.
So the Yankees came out in the first inning and said, this is our game, essentially. Well, the Twins have struggled with their pitching. It's their team ERA is over 5. And it's going to go up tonight.
Three and 2. You know what? I guess if you live in Minneapolis, this is kind of nice weather. And they suffer through some tough winters here.
Oh my goodness.
Fly ball center field. Buxton makes the catch. He has a good arm, and Romine's not testing it. One hop to third.
That was impressive. Romine tagged up like he was going to third. He had no intention of doing so. Steps into it. Quick over the top release. One hop with something on it, the Plouffe.
Starting to rain a little bit harder here at Target Field. Yankees lead 7-1. Here's Jacoby Ellsbury. One-on-one on Ellsbury. Started it with a single in the first inning, came around to score, then wrapped into a 4-6-3 double play in the second. It's the third inning, third time he's come to the plate.
He leads the Yankees in multi-hit games. Needs another one here to move up a notch. Got 18 multi-hit games. Always said that multi-hit games are the lifeblood of a 300 hitter. The league leader, Xander Bogaerts. He's got 30 multi-hit games. And he's also leading the league in hitting.
Two balls, two strikes, two outs, runner at second. Pitch. Missed. And the count 3-2. And the payoff. Probably swung at ball 4.
He certainly helped Ramirez out a bit. It also got a piece of Suzuki. Yep, looked like a slider that dropped out of the zone, and Suzuki took it off the arm. With the Yankees with a 6-run lead here, it's still early in the game. You got to keep tacking on if you can. There's another run out there.
Fly ball left field. Grossman is there, and that will do it. But the Yankees add 3 runs on 3 hits. 1 man left. Go to the bottom of the third. 7-1 Yanks. Fan Gear headquarters. 2 more games here in Minneapolis, both 2:10 starts. And then the Yankees have a day off on Monday, 2 against Colorado at the stadium. Thursday's a day off. And then the Twins come to town for 3 in the Bronx. That's your Yankees' upcoming schedule. (7-1) Yankees lead. Eduardo Nunez will lead off against Tanaka. And a strike.
Nunez, the designated hitter tonight, but usually he's played shortstop for Minnesota. Last night's game, he was a third baseman.
Grounded to third. Nice play by Headley. 1 away. Kenny, all that work in spring training is paying off. He is playing third base so much better than he did last year.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, and that was a. He made that play look easy, but that was a tough hop, a short hop, and primarily his throwing. Last year he had throwing issues. Stays with it, makes the play here. I think at this time last year he had about 12 or 13 errors. He's got 5 this year.
Here's Joe Mauer.
One thing that Mauer has done, and you kind of mentioned it, he's been able to work his way on base. Would you say he had a streak now going of
27 straight games?
Well, one thing he's done here at home, he has reached safely in every home game the Twins have played.
Local kid, grew up in Highland Park. Dave Winfield grew up less than a mile away. First pick in the draft in 2001. He's now 33 years old. They say that he went around. Twins really extended themselves when they signed Mauer to an 8-year, $184 million contract in March of 2010. That's when not every team had the money to keep their own players. And they really went all out to keep him because he's a local guy. It would have looked awful if they let him get away. But the knees have become an issue. Now you've got a first baseman that doesn't produce a lot of power at a corner infield position. He can hit.
Yeah. And remember, they had Justin Morneau at the time, and they had to let Morneau go to open up first base for Mauer.
And he and Morneau were very close as well. So a couple more years on the contract after this. Grounded softly to second. Moving to his right is Castro. Bobbles. And Mauer reaches. So that'll be an E4.
Now that will not continue the streak of reaching safely. Reaching safely does not include errors. And you can see the bobble by Castro enables Mauer to reach first base.
And if you ever need a reason to run hard on a routine ground ball, there you have it. So an E4 on Castro. There's Robbie Grossman. Fouled away. Grabbed there by Refsnyder. Steps on the bag one. Fires to second. Double play. Good play by Rob Refsnyder. You score at 3-6 to end the inning. No runs, no hits. 1 error because of the DP. Nobody left on base. A good throw by Refsnyder and the tag by Gregorius.
Oh, hi.
Suzuki, Scott, and the Pix 11 News team. Now, Linda Church has the weather, and Caitlin Monte's traffic reports keep you in the know. Mornings from 6 to 9 on the Pix 11 Morning News, where every story hits home. Rob Refsnyder takes a strike. And we start the fourth inning with the Yankees up 7-1. Refsnyder with an RBI double and a walk.
So Refsnyder's been on base twice tonight. Booming double and a base on balls. Seems to like the number 2 spot in the order.
Popped up. Long run from Mauer. Does he have room? Nope. Out of play.
Let's check and see how many times Refsnyder has batted in the second spot this year. This is his third time. If he continues to get on base in these situations when he starts against lefties, Joe Girardi's going to keep him there.
Why not?
Yeah. Good spot to hit right in front of Beltran and Alex Rodriguez.
A base hit for Refsnyder.
Man. Been on base 3 times tonight. Ball was hammered.
Well, the Yankees never really had a doubt about Refsnyder's ability to hit. They just said, well, where do we play him? And circumstances dictated they had to have somebody play first base. It'd become the Bermuda Triangle of the Yankee defense. 4 people have gone down. So they plugged in Refsnyder and they found a spot where, you know, he's certainly holding his own, and now the bat's in the lineup.
Yeah, he's 5 for 8 on this road trip. Bermuda Triangle.
Well, just consider Parmalee, Teixeira, Bird.
Yeah.
Who am I leaving out? There's a 4th one. Ackley.
Yep, Ackley.
Yep.
Well, I could see Ackley because Ackley had played other positions.
But he was essentially the backup first baseman.
Yeah, he was.
Ground ball and past the diving Mauer, past the diving Dozier into right field as Refsnyder moves to third. So base hit for Beltran. Yankees have runners on first and third.
Yeah.
Nobody out.
That's the danger of throwing an off-speed pitch to an experienced hitter like Beltran. Because watch him reach out and just stroke this one for the hole just beyond Mauer. Here comes Dozier into your picture. He can't get it. And Refsnyder's on his way to third. You throw an off-speed pitch to a left-handed hitter, you're just asking him to pull it hard. And it really didn't hit it that hard. It's just perfectly placed. And the Yankees are in business again.
Here's Alex. 1 for 2. Said he's seen the ball as well as he's seen it all year right now. Breaking ball misses. 1-0. Way out in front, pops it up. And Suzuki runs out of room.
We're in the 4th inning, and already every starter in the Yankee lineup tonight. Everybody's got a hit. So the 4th inning, everybody has joined the party.
7-1 Yankees and looking for more. 1-2.
Ellsbury has 1. Refsnyder has 2. Beltran has 2. A-Rod has 1. Castro has a hit. Headley has a double. Gregorius has a single. Romine has a double, and Hicks has a single. So they got the party started early.
Strike 3. A-Rod down looking.
That is the first Yankee to strike out tonight. A-Rod caught looking on a slider. Front door slider. Breaks over the inside corner.
Here's Castro. Walked, singled, scored twice. And a strike from Ramirez. Randy Miller from NJ.com was asking Joe Girardi questions. He was doing a story on Starlin Castro, and Castro fly ball to center field. That's going to get a run in. Tagging is Refsnyder. Throw comes into second. Refsnyder scores a sac fly by Castro. It's 8-1 Yankees, and Castro was telling Randy that they're much more aggressive and they challenge him more in the National League. He said he's seeing so many sliders in this league, and now there's a little crossover during interleague play, but you don't see him enough. He just really believes that he should be a 300 hitter, and he's just adjusting to the fact they don't challenge you that much in this league.
You know, one thing he's going to have to stop doing, and you can see it when they get 2 strikes on him, they go to the slider out of the strike zone.
Then he
chases it. So maybe that's what he's talking about, seeing more sliders.
It's strange to feel that way, though, Kenny, because there's such a crossover of players.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just not locked into the American League or the National League, but maybe the way teams pitcher because of DHs, it's a deeper lineup.
Well, the thing about it, Michael, now with the proliferation of interleague play that wasn't around when I was playing, there was more of a difference in the 2 leagues.
Slice the other way. Is it a fair ball? Nope, foul ball.
They used to say that the American League was a breaking ball league back in the day, and National League they were more aggressive with their pitchers, threw a lot more fastballs. And I didn't really notice it when I came over to the American League. I was just looking for a good pitch to hit. Didn't matter what it was.
Well, Castro feels it's the same way. CC has bounced from the American League to the Milwaukee Brewers, and now back to the American League. Inside.
Well, one thing the Yankees have done, they kind of kept this Minnesota crowd quiet right from the start. Not much for the fans, the Twins fans to cheer for.
And Headley walks, so he's been on base all 3 times, a double and 2 walks. Beltran moves to second. That'll bring up Didi. Not much for the Twins fans to cheer about this year. They're expecting much better things coming off an 83-win season where they really made a run at the playoffs to the surprise of many. But this year, starting off 0-9, they've never recovered. Didi has 2 ribbies tonight. He's 1 for 2. Swing and a miss.
It was interesting last night. Of course, after the game, Meredith interviewed DD because he had the big hit in the game. And one thing he said, he worked over the winter and keeping that front shoulder in, particularly against left-handed pitching. And I remember years ago, David Justice said the same thing. You got to really concentrate. David was a good left-handed hitter, to keep that front shoulder in and not have that hip fly open. So you could cover the outside portion of the plate. And last night, Didi also said he's looking first pitch fastball. That's where Abad threw it, almost right down the middle, and then he clocked it.
First home run that Abad had allowed this year. Clocks that one foul. Neil Ramirez on in relief of Pat Dean.
Didi's average now up over 280, 282.
Well, CC was raving about him yesterday. After the game, he said, when you consider he had to take over for Derek Jeter, he said, the job that he's done. You know, he started off slowly last year, but really he's very good in the field, and he's turned into a very potent bat in the lineup.
Yeah, he made two excellent plays in the field going to his right last night. He showed off his strong arm on both plays, and you know there are some shortstops might not have made those plays. You know, they're having problems. Suzuki and the Ramirez are having problems here with the signs, and they're trying to get on the same page.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Top of the fourth, 1 run in, first and second, 2 outs. Yankees lead 8-1. Ramirez deals. 2-2.
You saw Ramirez coming to the stretch position there, and you saw the sweat dripping off his hat.
Taylor Rogers up. One of 3 lefties Molitor has in the bullpen. Fly ball to Grossman, and that'll do it. But the Yankees get a run on 2 hits. They leave 2. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 8-1 Bombers. BMW Centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. The Cubs 6-0 over the Pirates. Pirates are struggling. Toronto 13-3 over the O's. Boston lost 8-4 to Seattle. San Francisco beat Tampa Bay 5-1. Top of the 9th inning, Atlanta leads the Mets 5-1. Matt Harvey started that game. And Cleveland squeaks by the White Sox 3-2 at Progressive Field.
Don't look now, but the Blue Jays are 1 game out of first place.
Dozier cracks one to left field, but it's a foul ball.
Boy, that's way up there near that "It's a beautiful day for baseball" sign. Off into the night. Ball bouncing around. That's a souvenir for the offer, for the taking. There's nobody up there.
Swing and a miss.
Well, hopefully we can show that sign tomorrow. It's a beautiful day. That ball is just sitting there. There it is. Beautiful day for baseball. Hope we can show that tomorrow.
Rounded to third, charging Headley. And he gets Dozier.
Another nice play by the Yankee third baseman. Throw it on the run.
3 assists so far tonight for Headley.
Quick release, finds his receiver.
Here's Trevor Plouffe. Strike. 8-1 Yankees. They won the first game of this series 4-1 last night on the Gregorius 3-run home run. Fly ball. Left field. Hicks is there for the second out.
Look at the pitch count for Tanaka. It's pretty good shape. Look, he only had 1 inning where he had to work pretty hard, and that would have been the second. Twins sent 5 men to the plate in that inning. Be interesting to post game. The Yankees go on to win. See if Tanaka can explain what the 4 runs in the first inning meant to him when he hit the hill.
Escobar takes low. Escobar doubled off the wall, high off the wall in right center. Originally signed with the White Sox out of Venezuela, and then the Twins acquired him for Francisco Liriano. Ooh, base hit up the middle, and the thought on Escobar, Kenny, was he could field with anybody, but he was never really going to hit. He was 2 for 2 tonight, and his average before that hit was 262.
Well, they'll take that because he is an excellent fielder. And he's hitting tonight like he wants to stay in the lineup now, double and a single.
There's Max Kepler.
You know, it's interesting to watch young players come in the league, players such as Kepler. And, you know, they get off to a decent start. I mean, his average isn't much, but he's had a walk-off home run early in his career. He hit against Boston. And you can see that he has some tools. I mean, he can run. Looks like he can throw the ball pretty well. You know, he's feeling his way through the league. And it'd be interesting to see, you know, the Yankees play the Twins fairly quickly again. They play him in New York next week. But if you had gone a month or so, and then you wanted to see how he progressed, where's his batting average? How much has it climbed?
Chop to second. Castro's there. And he gets Kepler for the final out of the fourth. No runs a hit, no errors, one man left. Let's go to the fifth inning. 8-1 Yanks. Saturday, June 25th, when the Yankees take on these very same Twins. All guests in attendance are going to receive a commemorative Masahiro Tanaka baseball card courtesy of Topps. Now, for tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees Clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. New pitcher for the Twins, third pitcher of the night. It's Taylor Rogers, as he tries to hold it right here at 8-1 as we start the fifth inning.
Let's look at Mr. Rogers' numbers here. This will be his 15th appearance, ERA north of 5. Well, 15 strikeouts, only 3 walks in 15 in the third innings.
21 hits, though. That's not that great.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So he'll deal to Austin Romine. Austin is 1 for 2. A 2-run double his last time up. Wrapped into a double play in the first. Romine fouls it away. The 0-2. Still 0-2. So Austin, a .282 batting average, 2 home runs and 13 runs batted in. Fly ball, right field. Kepler puts it away. 1 down.
Romine's retired. It might be interesting to note that this is the second time he has caught Tanaka this year. And the first time he caught him, Tanaka went 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Tanaka is 2-2 with McCann.
Here's Aaron Hicks. And a strike to Hicks. Hicks is 1 for 2.
Yeah, I think a lot depends on who's pitching for the opposition that day, who's going to play.
Wrapped to right field. Kepler goes back, makes the play in front of the track for the second out. So 2 down. That's going to bring up Ellsbury. And a strike from Rogers. Ellsbury's 1 for 3 tonight. Singled in the first, scored a run, wrapped into a 4-6-3 double play in the second, and a fly ball to left in the third. Strike 2. Three infielders on the right side for Ellsbury. A lot of teams don't play him that way. He uses the whole field. Fly ball, right field. Cutting over is Buxton, but Kepler makes the play, and he just ties a record held by many. 3 putouts. We're halfway through. 8-1. The game summary brought to you by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram, 8-11-1 Yanks, 1-4-0 Twins. Tanaka's gone 4 hits, a run. Pat Dean lasted just 1 out into the third. Beltran a 2-run home run into the second deck and left. Austin Romine a 2-run double to left center. So Tanaka will deal to 8, 9, and 1 in the order, starting with Kurt Suzuki. Now, we have a little bit of a split on our own personal pitching staff, because David Cone has said on the air that a pitcher really doesn't pitch any differently whether they have no runs on the board or 10 runs on the board. He said the slightest thing is, you don't want to walk anybody. He said, but you're not just throwing the ball and grooving it. You're just not. And Al Leiter says, I respect what David's saying. He said, but if you have a 10-1 lead, he said, you are pitching differently than if it's 1-1. You just are.
Is Al saying he's laying it in there?
Yeah, he says, prove to me you're going to get a hit before I, really have to bear down and get you out.
Well, if I can speak from a hitter standpoint,
right,
I'd rather face the guy who's going to lay it in there.
Sure.
If we're down by a lot of runs and the game is kind of out of hand, I still want my hits. So that I'm throwing in there. I'll try and hit it. So Coney's saying if he gets you 0-2, he's going to throw in at your feet. He's going to move you around.
See, I'm not going to pitch any differently.
Yeah.
Buxton takes outside, 1-0.
I remember a few years ago I was doing a game with Coney. He was saying, "Oh, I have to brush you back," and I said, "Coney, you don't want to get me angry. That's just going to be a tougher out."
Well, he brushed back Matsui.
Yeah.
Old Timers game, and then he hit one into the second deck. David's reaction was priceless.
Oh, it was.
It was just a really great moment in the Old Timers game.
Isn't that 3 years in a row he's given up a?
Yeah, he's perfect. He pitches, puts it in the perfect spot for a hitter.
You know, and I watched Al pitch. Al had good stuff. I mean, he threw hard and nasty breaking ball.
Swing and a miss. Buxton down on strikes.
Doesn't look like Tanaka's changed the game plan.
Well, today's we're all 8-1.
Yeah.
I guess you can't just lay it in there. I mean, it could be 8-4 in an eye blink, and then you got a game.
Well, let's see. This is the second most run support that Tanaka's gotten in a game. The Yankees scored 10 for him in a game against Kansas. Maybe not for him, but he scored 10 in a game against Kansas City, and Tanaka got a no decision in that game. Game the Yankees won 10-7. So it sounds like he went to the Outlighters school in that game.
Swing and a miss. And now he's in Coney University.
Yeah, Coney University.
Ground ball is short. And Tanaka retires the Twins in order. It is now an official game. And the Yankees lead this one 8-1. Back on Yes as they play game 3 with the Twins. Now coverage will start at 1 with Audi batting practice today in the Chevy pregame, followed by all the action in Minnesota. Only on Yes and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. There's an exclamation point at the end of Go.
It's it. No.
Yeah. Refsnyder chops one to short. And they finally retire the Yankee first baseman. Taylor Rogers has kind of brought some sanity to the proceedings from the Twins side. He's retired all 4 Yankees.
I don't think the Yankees have ever seen Taylor Rogers before. Last year, Rogers was doing his pitching at AAA Rochester. Twins had picked him in the 11th round of 2012. Rogers did his college pitching, University of Kentucky. So we got to see some big time hoops.
You ever been to Rupp Arena?
No.
Very cool.
I'm sure. Looks very cool on TV.
I actually covered the national championship game between Villanova and Georgetown at Rupp Arena. Lined into center field. It's a base hit for Beltran. He's 3 for 4.
Yeah, he's like Meredith said, he's feeling better. A home run and 2 singles.
Beltran's making a case to be in San Diego on July 12th for the All-Star game.
Well, we know he's going to be there probably July 1st when the Yankees get there. But July 12th, the big show, the All-Star game. I think they're trying to get a pinch runner for Beltran, and here he comes.
It's going to be Ike Davis.
You'll probably see Davis take over at first and Rev Snyder go to right field. So a big night for the Yankee right fielder. Day game tomorrow. Joe Girardi getting him out of the lineup. Yeah, I used to like games like that. They take me out of the game and, you know, a decent lead. You go upstairs and see what the big spread is for the night. What you're going to eat after the game. For fans who don't know, the clubhouse attendants usually have a meal for the players after the game.
Chop left side. Plouffe. There's one on the first. Not in time.
Yeah, that play took a long time to develop. It wasn't hit very hard. They got the force at second. And but you know, Dozier tried to turn 2. Now the thing about it, you have those spreads after ball games at night because it's late at night after games, and you know many of the restaurants are not open.
My best story about an after game spread
Neil
was in Detroit at the old Tiger Stadium. Billy Martin was the Yankee manager. And the Yankees lost, I believe, 3 or 4 games in a row in the 9th inning. Cecilio Guante gave it up. And Billy came in to the club. I remember the old club he ripped.
Oh, yeah, I do.
And the visiting clubhouse at Tiger Stadium was pretty ratty. The rug was dirty, whatever. And Billy flipped the table over with the food on it. It was all over the floor. Rip, methodically, put it all in the bins again. Put it on the table, and Kenny.
No, he didn't.
Players actually ate it.
No, come on. You know what? I'd have been looking for a restaurant somewhere in Detroit.
Lindell AC.
Yeah, that's a pretty good place.
There's a strike to Castro, but I was absolutely, there was like yellow rice, and it was scooped up and put back in these tin holders, and people were scooping it out and eating it.
Yeah, I've seen managers tip over the spread before.
Billy did it a lot.
Yeah.
Ground ball left side. Nice play by Plouffe, and he gets the force at second for the final out. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Going to the bottom of the 6th. 11 telecast will be Tuesday when the Yankees play host to the Colorado Rockies at the stadium. Coverage will begin at 6:30 right here on New York's home for baseball, Pix 11. Ike Davis takes over at first base, and the first baseman for the first 5 innings, Rob Refsnyder, moves to right field, replacing Beltran, who got pinch run for by Ike Davis.
It's a good opportunity to tap a ball game with the Yankees up 8-1 for Joe Girardi to get Refsnyder some reps out in right field and give Beltran the rest of the night off.
Kevin Jepson. Now, Joe Mauer grew up in the Twin Cities, and he was an exceptional athlete. And before he got drafted by the Twins, he was offered a full ride to play quarterback at Florida State. That's how good he was.
Yeah.
He actually committed to play quarterback there. But being the first-round pick of your hometown team, hard to turn down.
I think the Twins gave him some incentive to sign, didn't they?
Oh, I'm sure. I think it was $5.15 million.
Yeah, that would have done it for me.
Right back to Tanaka.
We mentioned this time and time again as Tanaka snared this one hopper. You know, it wasn't a particularly tough play, but Tanaka has made many tougher ones than that. But he is an excellent fielder, very quick off the mound on bunt plays, quick over the first base, give the first baseman a good target to throw to when he has to cover first. This wasn't a tough play, it was about the shoulder high. But he becomes an infielder once he releases the ball.
There's a strike to Grossman. Grossman's 1 for 2. Fly ball, left field. Hicks is there. 2 outs. Very efficient for Tanaka.
The first 2 innings he had to work a little harder, but after that he's kind of settled in. It kind of reminds you how CeCe went last night. Struggled a little bit early, then settled in. It's almost as if they find out what's working, what's not working, and go accordingly.
Really, the turnaround for CeCe is it's just startling. I mean, when you consider how he pitched most of last year before the knee brace,
yeah.
It's just now every time he goes out, you expect that the team's going to win.
Well, he's made the transformation. I think it's almost as if he reinvented himself.
Line drive over the leaping try of Castro, and a base hit for Dozier. I mean, there were people for the longest time who were saying
he's done, right?
He's done. You got to release him, eat the remaining money, and he never gave up on himself. And, you know, also you have to consider what he did at the end of last year going into rehab. And he said, you know, I go to bed now and I don't have that secret that I'm keeping, and that's helped me as well. So
I think one of the major things, and we've seen it in the pitching this year, in the category of home runs allowed. He was just getting rocked.
It was like home run derby.
Yeah, well, what is it?
Now they don't leave the park.
There's 2 from the season. Changeups away, cutters in, fastball just enough out of the zone that they chase. Able to get the double play when he needs it. Strike out a guy in the clutch.
Now, he was never just a power pitcher here and hit it, but he had the stuff where he could make a location mistake and get away with it because the stuff was so electric. But now he's really pitching, keeping people off balance. It's pretty fun to watch. Headley, he gets the force at second, and that'll do it. Here in the sixth, no runs a hit. One man left on base. Yankees lead 8-1. By ChevyOffers.com. There's a lot of hits in there, as Kenny likes to say. Everybody got an invite to the party. Refsnyder with 2 hits, Beltran with 3, a monster 2-run home run into the second deck in the first inning. So a lot of offense for the Yankees on this Friday night. And again, Paul Molitor makes a call to the bullpen, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Fourth pitcher, it's Kevin Jepsen.
Former Angel into the ball game for the Twins. 29th appearance. He's actually been used as a closer for a while once Glenn Perkins went down. And kind of a bad news for the Twins. Perkins going to have shoulder surgery. And he had been an all-star closer.
So Jepsen will deal to Headley. Fouled away. 8-12-1 for the Yankees and 1-5-0 for the Twins. Start of this game delayed by about 45 minutes. They had the tarp on, waiting for it to rain. It never did. It's supposed to start at 7 Central, and ended up starting at about 7:45 Central. One breaking ball strike.
Yeah, well, before the game today, I was in near the indoor batting cages watching the Yankees hit, and Headley was one of the guys. He was hitting rockets. And you know, as I was walking by, Didi was there.
There's a rocket and another base hit. So Headley's been on base all 4 times, a double, a single, and 2 walks.
So I'm standing there, and Marcus Thames was there, the hitting coach. I said I was drawn to the music, you know, just the sound of bat hitting ball. You know, how many years have I heard that? Just
It's a rare nice night for those two. Alan Cockrell on the right, the hitting coach, and Marcus's assistant.
Just I'm watching them hit, and I'm thinking about how many times I was in a batting cage, just doing what they were doing. Ooh.
That one is wrapped in the right center, but Buxton got a good jump, hauls it in, and Headley almost all the way to second, hustles back.
Another hard hit ball by Didi Gregorius. And to be honest with you, I can't tell you the last time I actually swung a bat at a ball, with a wooden bat and a regular baseball. I can't remember the last time I did it. It's been that long ago.
Not even sneak off in the car, go to a batting cage?
Nothing like that, no. You know, in the backyard with a plastic bat and a plastic ball with my grandson, I'll do that.
Austin Romine takes outside 1-0. 8-1 Yankees. We're in the 7th.
Because I'm trying to show him proper technique and all that. He can hit. Man, the kid swings back.
Want to come over my house? I don't know if I'm the proper teacher for Charlie. One. How tough must this be for this man? He's a Hall of Famer, local guy, had such a good first year, took over for a longtime manager of the Twins, Ron Gardenhire.
He was Joe Mauer before Joe Mauer in this area.
Went to University of Minnesota, first round pick by the Brewers in 1977. Won a World Series with Toronto. 3,319 career hits.
I saw the first one.
You know, they always say it's very difficult, and you'll see some of his highlights here, for a great player to be a great manager. And he was a great player, as a Hall of Famer, because they expect everybody to be able to play like them, but he seems like he's mastered it.
Yeah. If you notice his stroke, he didn't have a stride. He had a wide stance and just used his hands and arms up the body.
Soft ground ball to second. There's one on to first. It's a double play. So that'll do it here in the 7th for the Yankees. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Time for the 7th inning stretch in Minneapolis. 8-1 Yanks. Game box score, which is brought to you by ChevyOffers.com. You see a good job by Masahiro Tanaka. You have a single by Grossman, Dozier, Plouffe. Escobar has 2 hits, a double and a single, and Kepler with an RBI, and that was on a ground out. So just 1 run allowed by the Yankee right-hander. Yankees lead 8-1.
Well, this is a guy at the plate who's given Tanaka the problems tonight with a double and a single. Both of them are hit pretty hard. Let's see how he goes about facing him here in the 7th.
Fly ball right field. Refsnyder runs it down to retire Escobar.
Tanaka just 83 pitches. So you got to figure if you get through the 7th here pretty quickly, he can go at least one more. His season high in pitches is 104. And that was against the Blue Jays a couple of starts ago. I'll make that 3 starts ago.
Another fly ball to right. Backpedaling is Refsnyder. He puts it away.
There's not many pitches this inning, huh? Got 2 down.
Buddy Boshears, we saw him yesterday. These are the type of games that give that back end of the bullpen a little rest. You need these. Yankees have not had that many laughers this year.
And meanwhile, the Twins are kind of burning up their bullpen with a day game tomorrow. Quick turnaround.
Ricky Nolasco goes for the Twins tomorrow, and Michael Pineda for the Yanks. Tanaka trying to pick up his 4th win of the year against 2 losses. Lined right at Headley, and a 1-2-3 inning for Masahiro Tanaka. Twins go down in order, and we go to the 8th. 8-1 Yanks. Shop ChooseNissan.com today. 8-13-1 for the Yankees, 1-5-0 for the Twins. 4 runs in the first for the Yanks, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and that tail's been wagging all night. Must be a Yankee fan. Buddy Boshears, the 5th pitcher used by Paul Molitor.
Worked an inning last night. Didn't give up a run or a hit. Had a strikeout. And this will be his 10th appearance of the season. And it looks as though he's been pretty effective so far for these Minnesota Twins as a left-hander out of the bullpen.
Pat Dean started, Neil Ramirez, Taylor Rogers, Kevin Jepson, and now Buddy Boshiers. And he'll face Aaron Hicks, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Rob Refsnyder. Anybody gets on? Ike Davis will get into bat. Fouled away. Hicks is 1 for 3 tonight. Single to left in the second, fly ball to center in the third, fly ball to right in the fifth. "13 hits for the Yankees, 5 for the Twins. Fly ball, right field, deep. Going back, Kepler. Track. Near the wall, he makes the play. One away. Out there, there's a slight overhang where you could actually be waiting for the ball if you're an outfielder, and it just plops right in there. And that's kind of reminiscent of the old Tiger Stadium, which had an overhang in right.
Yeah, right in the flower bed there.
I think there's an overhang at Citi Field as well in right field.
Is there one in Texas?
I think there might be, Kenny. Yeah. Jacoby Ellsbury.
That, of course, that was at Tiger Stadium. You get back to the wall and you look up, you think you got it. It falls in the upper deck.
Right in on the hands, 1-1. Some fireworks behind left field. Most of the fireworks have come from the Yankee offense. But this time, Ellsbury grounds out, 2 away.
The most hits that the Yankees have gotten in a game this year was 17, and they did it twice. The last time they did it was June the 8th against the Angels at Yankee Stadium. Of course, they won that game. But the fewest hits they've had in a game this year was 1. And they won that game, too.
Here's Refsnyder. 2 for 3 with a walk. Pitch outside, 1-0. Fly ball, right center. Good jump for Byron Buxton, and he puts it away as the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3 against Boshiers. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Dealer. Hurry into your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2016 models. By Bowmore Lanes. Nobody throws a party like Bowmore. Plan your next event at Bowmore Lanes. By M&T Bank. What's important to you is important to us at M&T Bank. Learn more at mtb.com/meet us. Danny Santana is going to pinch hit for Byron Buxton.
Oh, we found out why the fireworks are going off, Michael.
I heard.
Yeah.
The 150th anniversary of General Mills.
There's a museum down there now.
Where they have old boxes of cereal?
Well, this is where the flour industry really bloomed.
I see what you did. You accidentally backed into that.
Well, in a way. In fact, years ago, before there was a major league team in Minneapolis, as a swing and a miss by Santana, the AAA team was known as the Minneapolis Millers.
So did they start the company like 10 o'clock at night 150 years ago? Santana swings and misses. He goes down on strikes.
4 strikeouts now for Tanaka. He hasn't walked anybody tonight. 150 years.
Here's Eduardo Nunez starting to cool down just a bit. 0 for 3 tonight, 3 for his last 20. Average now at 311. You know, Danny Santana, who pinch hit for Buxton, was activated off the DL. There's a base hit for Nunez. And to make room on the roster, they designated Osvaldo Arcia for release or assignment. Wasn't he their starting right fielder on opening day?
He was been in the outfield for a couple years here.
So here's Joe Mauer. He's got a streak on the line. 27 straight games reaching safely.
And I also mentioned the fact that he's reached safely in every home game this year. So that's on the line.
This streak dates back to May 17th, the longest streak in baseball this year. But he also had a 28 gamer from April 4th to May 4th. His career long is 43 from August 7th to September 24th last year.
That's consistency. Night in and night out.
One and one on Mauer.
Just the fact that he's a tough out. I mean, you got to work to get him out. You got to make good pitches. Even when you make good ones, he can get hits. And he's not going to swing it too many out of the strike zone.
One and two. Now Mauer has reached, but he doesn't get credit for reaching safely. He reached on an error by Castro in the third. He struck out in the first and grounded back to Tanaka in the sixth. So one away and one on here in the eighth inning. Yankees lead 8-1.
Next pitch will be number 100 for Tanaka tonight. Very efficient. He's allowed to run on 6 hits. 4 strikeouts, no walks. You know, maybe not the strikeout machine he used to be, but he was relying more on moving, more of a 2-seam fastball, get more balls hit on the ground.
Well, he used a 4-seamer so much last year, and now it's at the bottom of the pecking order of pitches that he uses, because that ball got hit out a lot last year. See Nick Goody up for the Yanks. Foul back to the screen.
With Goody warming up, you get the feeling that this is going to be Tanaka's last inning.
Two. And there the streak is alive. 28 straight games as Mauer picks up a single.
Well, that's one reason why Mauer's been a former batting champion. He's won it 3 times because he hits the ball all over the field. And occasionally with some power. Let's see what type of pitch here that Tanaka makes. This one, 2-seamer, stayed up a little. Mauer goes right with it. Cut down his swing with 2 strikes and runs it by Torreyes into left field for a base hit. 13th season with the Minnesota Twins.
Grossman takes high. Well, I'll tell you what, Kenny, General Mills is exploding a lot of its profits over the last 150 years on those fireworks. It has been constant. So a 3-0 count now on Grossman. First and second, 1 out.
Yeah, this is the first inning in a while that Tanaka's really labored.
That was a strike. Fly ball. Left field deep. Going back is Hicks. He makes the catch. Tagging at second is Nunez. He'll go to third. Staying at first is Mauer. So a long out for the second out. Grossman looked back at the replay board. And he's still out.
He just got that, well, maybe onto the warning track.
There's Brian Dozier. Dozier 1 for 3 tonight.
Used to call that WTP, warning track power.
in on the hands, foul back. 8-1 Yankees. We're on the bottom of the 8th inning. 7 hits for the Twins, 13 for the Yanks.
Yeah, the Yankees kind of took the suspense out of this one right away with 4 runs on 5 hits in the first inning against the left-hander Pat Dean.
So ahead in the count 0-2.
So up to 109 in the pitch count. And that is now a new season high for Tanaka.
And Girardi's probably thinking extra day this time because of the off day. And he's going to have an extra day next time. Swing and a miss. So that's his final pitch. He finishes strong. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left. 8 strong innings for Tanaka. Yankees lead 8-1. Montefiore doing more in state-of-the-art healthcare. By Modell Sporting Goods, your fan gear headquarters. Come on, Bronx Bomber fans, you gotta go to Moe's. And by Toyota, get big savings at the Toyota Father's Day sales event. Toyota, let's go places. Now, the Yankees had 4 runs worth of fireworks in the first inning. They have not looked back. We go to the 9th. They are up 8-1 here at Target Field. A couple of Yankee fans, specifically Mickey Mantle fans.
The Mick.
Ike Davis will get an at bat. And the new pitcher is Michael Tonkin.
Tonkin also worked in last night's game. An inning, 2 strikeouts.
Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Past Dozier. So a single for Ike Davis.
This fireworks is still going, Michael.
Amazing. We've got to get into that party. A-Rod swings and misses. You know what happened on this date, 1978?
Something to do with fireworks?
Coming the opposite. It was pitching fireworks. Ron Guidry struck out 18 batters. 4-0 shutout of the Angels.
What year was that?
That was 1978.
He had a lot of games like that. Not 18 strikeouts, but 25-3 that year.
After that victory over the Angels, that made him 11-0.
He was just getting started.
Now, the reason I bring that up is that is the beginning. That game right there was the beginning of the rhythmic clapping that lives to this day at Yankee Stadium when a pitcher gets 2 strikes. Because the crowd started counting down with Guidry, and every time we get to 2 strikes, they started to clap to get strike 3. And it lives to this day.
You know what? That Angel team was a pretty good team. They had some good hitters. Joe Rudy, Don Baylor, Bobby Grich, Brian Downing. They had a solid team. In fact, they went to the playoffs the next year. They got beat, though.
By your team.
Oh, yeah.
I think General Mills has a big finish right now happening.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
They must have sold a lot of cereal over the years.
They're just finished. And the crowd cheering here at Target Field. And A-Rod works a walk. So a single by Davis, a walk to A-Rod.
Yeah, not only that game for Ron Guidry, but that was a phenomenal season. 25-3. He lost to 3 pitchers named Mike. Mike Caldwell of the Milwaukee Brewers, Mike Willis of the Toronto Blue Jays, and Mike Flanagan of the Baltimore Orioles. Those are the 3 games he lost. And the one he lost to the Orioles, he should not have lost.
Why should he have not have lost?
Well, I was getting to that. I was watching this kid. That ball would stay. He was leading 1-0, I believe, going to the 8th inning. Had the shutout going. We weren't doing much at all against him. I know I wasn't. And Bucky Dent threw a ball away, what I think with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. And Doug DeCinces was the next hitter, and he hit a home run and put us ahead 2-1. And as he came back to the dugout, he looked at Mike Flanagan and said, "You better hold him because we're not getting any more runs." And he held him. And 2 unearned runs beat him that night. And that was one of the hardest home runs I've ever seen hit. In those days, left center at Yankee Stadium was .430. And DeCinces hit it like a line drive over it.
Grounded to Maurer. He'll get the force at second. That's all they get. And Davis moves to third. So Castro reaches on the fielder's choice.
And while, of course, he won the Cy Young that year, Mike Flanagan won it the next year.
A lot of people think he should have won the MVP as well that year. I believe Jim Rice won. Right?
I believe he did. He had 78. Yeah, it was Jim Rice of the Red Sox.
Ronald Torreyes, who took over the bottom of the 8th inning at third base for Headley, gets his first at bat.
I think Rice had a phenomenal year as far as total bases were concerned that nobody had approached over a number of years.
Now, Kenny mentioned Guidry was 25-3. In 162 games, he was 24-3.
Yeah.
But he got the start in the tiebreaker against the Red Sox, and that was not a playoff game, not considered a playoff game, considered game number 163 of the season, and he got the win. And the save, Goose Gossage.
And Bucky Dent paid him back. Hit that famous home run.
And Reggie chipped in with a home run.
Yeah, he did.
And Lou Piniella with a great play and right. 2-1.
You know, that year was a phenomenal comeback for the Yankees. What were they, like 12, 14 games behind at one time?
14
and a half games behind. And he just kept coming and coming and coming. And gee, what a fantastic year. And, you know, having played against that team for a number of years, just a very tough, gritty baseball team. They were difficult to play against, hard to beat. Every time you played them, there were big crowds at Yankee Stadium or in Baltimore. And it was just great competition over the years.
Torreyes works a walk to load the bases. So here is Didi Gregorius. One for 4 with a couple of ribbies.
Now, once the Yankees roared by the Red Sox actually came back, and they forced that game number 163. You know, I think of, you know, of course, Yankees were led by Thurman Munson. Bobby Mercer was on that team. Lou Piniella.
No, Bobby wasn't on.
No,
78.
not he wasn't.
Right.
You're right. Lou Piniella, Reggie, Willie Randolph, Greg Nettles. I mean, these are all all-star type players.
Bases loaded. 1-2 count on Gregorius. Tonkin, the 6th Twins pitcher. And he strikes out Didi for the second out.
I think Didi helped him out a bit. He chased the pitch out of the zone. Yeah, sometimes you think fastball. Yeah, that's ball. You think fastball, you get it. Looks good enough to get on top, and you can't. Tonkin actually a pretty good strikeout pitcher. We mentioned that last night.
Here's Austin Romine with the bases loaded. Wrapped into a couple of double plays today, but he did have that 2-run double in the 3rd. He's 1 for 4. Strike, 1-1. Tonkin deals. Fly ball, right side, long run for everyone, and the catch is made coolly by a fan.
Three Twins in pursuit. Actually, he reached over, didn't he? Look at Dozier. He had something to say to him.
I hope he wasn't scolding him. None of the 3 would have gotten
No,
there.
they wouldn't have made the play.
Not like he took it out of their glove. Fly ball. Right center. And run down by Salazar for the final out. No runs. A hit and the bases left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Brought to you by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center.
Well, the Yankees had 1 run in at the time, and Carlos Beltran at the plate. Now they have 3 runs in. This is a 2-run shot in the first inning. This is going to be our play of the game. Carlos Beltran, 17th home run of the year.
And now they turn to Nick Goody to get the final 3 outs. 8 strong innings for Tanaka. And once again, you can't deny the stats, pitching better with the extra rest than he does on normal rest. This will be the 17th game for Nick Goody.
Strikeout type pitcher with 22 strikeouts and 18 2/3. Goody has an excellent slider. So he's in charge of getting the last 3 outs here.
Here's Trevor Plouffe. Did he hold up? No, he did not. Quinn Walcott said he went around.
Plouffe doesn't believe it. We get another. I don't think he swung at it either.
One and one. Fouled away. 1 and 2.
So a win tonight with even this trip up for the Yankees at 2 and 2.
Now the only way the Yankees get out of this road trip over 500, they have to win all 4 games. So even if they win tomorrow, they're at 500. So that Sunday game becomes a big game for them. That's a mark that they've gotten to, they've gotten over, and they keep sliding back.
Yeah.
6-game winning streak followed by a slide. 5-game winning streak followed by 4 in a row they've lost. So you want to get comfortably ahead, and Joe Torre used to say 5 ahead. And then you
10.
go 10 over.
Yep.
You do it in increments like that.
You start building.
Grounded, foul.
You know, when you look at how last season played out, as we look at this ball just foul, Torres didn't have much of a chance to come up with it. At one time, the Toronto Blue Jays won 93 games last year and won the division. They were 50 and 50 at one point, but they won 43 of their last 62 games. Now you can't really rely on that to get that hot, but that's how they blew it up to 93. They just blew away everybody in the last part of the season and took the lead away from the Yankees.
And they did make those big acquisitions at the deadline, Tulowitzki and Price, and that certainly helped jumpstart them.
Tulowitzki's just now getting back in the lineup. Been on the DL.
3-2. Foul back.
You know, just one more point about those late 70 Yankees. And, you know, of course, George Steinbrenner was around, and he demanded a lot of his players. But those guys delivered.
3-2. High fly ball, left field. Hicks back on the track, and he makes the play for the first out. He drove it to the warning track, but Plouffe knew that he didn't get enough. He kind of threw his head back in disgust after he hit the ball.
You know, I think Plouffe is the player on the Twins who's hit the most home runs in this ballpark. And you could see right away he knew it wasn't going.
Here's Escobar. You're not going to get many cheap home runs in this ballpark. 339 down the left field line. 411 just to the left of dead center. 403 to the right of dead center.
You know, a couple of years ago when they had the All-Star game here, Giancarlo Stanton in the home run hitting contest almost hit one out of the stadium. And when I look up there, how could you do that? It was over further towards left field there down the line, but still, that's a long way to hit a ball.
Two 2-1 to Escobar. 2-2. Eduardo 2 for 3 tonight. Yankees trying to put together a 2-game winning streak after having lost 4 in a row. Remember, they started their previous homestand 4 straight against the Angels, then a win against Detroit. And they lost the final 2 against Detroit and both games in Colorado. So it's been a real roller coaster of emotions. Fans and the team get down during the down turns and get excited when the team starts winning. Fly ball down the right field line, but foul. Now here's the Stanton Derby home run you talked about. Wow. So that was 422. How about this, though? Here's what I don't understand.
Now it was projected 510.
But it was 422,
yeah.
And Carlos Beltran's home run in the first inning was 419. And it went in the second deck. The math doesn't make sense there, Kenny.
No.
The second deck should be a lot shorter than the third deck.
The GPS was off.
Line down the right field line. Another nice catch. At least the Twins fans are playing well. Nice catch in the previous half inning, and now this one.
No, this guy didn't have a glove. I'll give him the edge. That ball was hit harder. Another souvenir.
Did you see the highlight last night, Kenny? I forgot in which ballpark, where the guy's holding his daughter.
It's in Philly, I think.
And he didn't go after the ball, but it was heading right toward him. And he was far from the action. He just stuck his right hand out and caught it.
While he was holding her. I don't think the mom was too happy.
Deep drive, right field. That ball is gone. A home run for Escobar. Single, double, and a home run for the Twins shortstop. And it's 8-2 Yankees. Escobar's first home run.
I'll tell you what, he earned that one. He handed out about 9 or 10 souvenirs and then found the range. Boy, that was down and in. He got underneath it somehow. Kept it fair. Nope, not as good a hands out there in right.
Pitch to Kepler is a strike. So 8-2 Yankees, bottom of the ninth. That was measured at 366 feet. 1-2. Kepler got hit by CC yesterday. That was an off-speed pitch, though, that just missed.
Good eye, buddy.
2-2.
That's it.
2-2. A base hit for Kepler.
Looking to see how old Kepler is. It looked very young standing up there at the plate. He's 23 years old. Joe Girardi's going to make a call down to the bullpen. I bet you didn't expect to have to make one here and get another pitcher up. Romine's out talking to Goody, trying to settle him down, trying to pick up the last 2 outs of this game without any further damage. Mike Harkey, bullpen coach on the other end. Somebody's going to get up. Looks like Kirby Yates.
Here's Kurt Suzuki. One and 0.
Goody trying to get that ground ball, get the game over, get a double play.
Well, this is one thing that the Yankees have had a hard time finding. You know, the back end of their bullpen is about as good as it gets. Larry Rothschild will talk with Goody. The starting pitching, although somewhat inconsistent, has been good enough to win games, and some of them have pitched very well at times. But the middle of the bullpen, which has been strong for the Yankees over the last couple of years, they're still trying to find the right connection out there. Goody has struggled. Yates has struggled. I mean, there are some days that you can't use the big three, and those guys have to get outs.
Yeah, you're looking for reliability. And this was a game where you would expect that Kirby Yates would not have to get up and warm up in the 9th inning.
That's why the injury in spring training, Kenny, to Brian Mitchell is such a big injury, because he was supposed to fill that void, which was left by Adam Warren. And he certainly had the stuff to do it, but then he injured himself on that play at first base. (2-0). Breaking ball strike. Grounded to Torreyes. There's one on the first. It's a double play, and the Yankees win 8-2. So an around the horn 5-4-3 gets it done as the Yankees win this one 8-2 to take the first 2 games of this 4-game set. Yankees had 4 in the first, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth. That was it for the scoring, but that was certainly enough. Tanaka gave them 8 strong, where he allowed 1 run. Goody gave up a run here in the 9th inning, and the Yankees win 8-2 with a game tomorrow to try to win the series and take the first 3. Right now, the Yankees are just a game under 500 at 33-34. 8-2, Yankees win. We'll come back. We'll wrap things up right here on Pix 11.